Howdy everyone, WarStarC here, and today we'll be looking at Crashbots for the Nintendo Switch. Before we begin, I'd like to thank Sometimes You for sending me a review key for this game. Alright, so let's dive in. Crashbots is a runner game where you run through the level avoiding obstacles and enemies, as is usual with the genre. Now of course there's a lot of games that I can compare this to since there are many like this. I originally wanted to compare it to games like Jetpack Joyride, but I think a 3D mobile game like the Sonic Dash games is a more fitting comparison due to how much this game just screams mobile game. Okay, so I actually looked this up just to be sure while I was editing this review, and I found out that this game actually is on Android and iOS, and it originally came out in 2017. So as I said, in Crashbots you play as a robot and run through levels, jumping over, sliding under, and shooting obstacles and enemies, trying to reach the end before you run out of battery, or just get as far as you can if you're playing endless mode. You'll have a few bonus objectives like reaching the end in under a certain amount of time, destroying all boxes, collecting all stars or coins, which can be used to purchase upgrades for your robot, by the way. You'll also be able to unlock more robots by finding all the parts that can be found in various levels. So as I said before, there's the main mode and then there's endless. Endless is unlocked as soon as you finish the tutorial, which by the way was rather irritating for me. I'll tell you why in just a minute, but first let's get to what's wrong with this game. Now unfortunately there is a lot I can complain about with this game. First off, it doesn't do a good job of distinguishing itself from a great many free-to-play mobile games, or even hiding the fact that it is indeed a ported mobile game. The gameplay, the HUD, the objectives. If you didn't have this on your television, or with a set of Joy-Cons attached to each side of the screen, you could easily be fooled into thinking that you were playing this on a phone. And I've got nothing against runners. I actually used to play a lot of Sonic Dash 2 back when I frequently played Android games. It's just that this game just doesn't have a lot of originality to it. I could open up the Google Play Store to a lot of games just like this that have been around for many years and don't cost $10 like this. Besides that, the controls are just uncomfortable to get used to. I've wiped out so many times getting the slide and jump buttons mixed up because the buttons just don't feel like they're in the right place. And sometimes it just feels like the B button doesn't want to work in the menus, almost like the game is trying to be a school teacher saying you can't leave until the bell rings or something. Controls aside, the tutorial was irritating and the fact that you cannot pause. Seriously, I had a rusty start and was aiming to get a perfect score, and due to the inability to pause, I had to actually exit the game and restart it a few times, and was actually almost considering stopping right there before I learned that it was only the tutorial that did this to you. Your only options are to wait until you die or close the game. Not sure what would have been quicker, but I didn't have the patience to just sit there and repeatedly run into something till my battery ran out. Still, even if just for the tutorial levels, this is not a very good first impression to give players, so why even bother taking away the ability to pause or even stop the level at all when there's just no point in doing so. I've never seen any other game that takes away your ability to stop playing during their tutorial, so why start now? In the end, this game fails miserably to hide the fact that it was originally a mobile game. I don't mean to bring my issues with the Switch eShop into this video, but my issue is this. If you're gonna bring a game that feels like it belongs exclusively on Android or iOS, especially if it actually is on Android and iOS, you need to bring more to the table with it. Give people a reason to choose it over a free game that they could play on their phone, or even this, which I can imagine was free when it showed up on the Google Play Store. I can't be certain of that because it no longer shows up on the Google Play Store. And unfortunately, this game doesn't feel like that kind of game. Not in price, not in content, not in comfortableness, none of it. So in the end, I have yet another reason to argue that Android games should stay on Android. This is WarStarC on the Game Clips channel, and I'm out.